Monday, May 12th, 2014 edition. I, as always, am your host, joined by my esteemed co-hosts, Rockley Smile.
Hi, how's it going?
Pretty good, and the ghost of J. Smith OTI.
I just made him a washing machine on my side.
Excuse me? It's a really good time to point out that you can go to NLSS.tv and watch Nick, myself, and an empty screen play whatever we're going to play today.
It's no different here for the first part anyway.
Yes, Josh is going to be away for the next week. He's taking care of some familial obligations, which makes sense. And he'll be back next Monday, I presume. But in any case, we're going to hold it down for now. Let's start with news and fan mail. As always, Nick, you've titillated me and excited me by telling me you have one news story for today.
Yeah, I try to keep it pretty real. That's how I do. So the big one for me today is 50 EA games going offline due to GameSpy shutting down. So there's this big old fat list of games, and I hope this isn't like your one article because I didn't ask you that. But
No, that's fine. I'm just going to troll our gaming and take them all anyway as soon as
all right,
you're
perfect. Freeform style. So there's a big old list of games including stuff like Battlefield 2, Command and Conquer 3, Command and Conquer Generals, Red Alert 3, Crisis Wars. I thought it was Crisis Warhead. It's cut off there. Crisis 2, Medal of Honor Allied Assault, Neverwinter Nights 2, and Star Wars Battlefront 2, among others, which is a pretty extensive list and many games that I would think are still among, the more popular of the games that they've put out in the last 10 years or so.
In general, like, whenever I hear news like this, I'm usually like, oh, nobody plays those games anyway. And for about half the stuff you listed, I was like, oh, very few people probably play those anyway.
Right.
But I don't know. I think you're right. I think I have to imagine there's a little bit of an Allied Assault community left, a little bit of like a Battlefield 1942 community left. And the one that kind of surprised me was Crisis 2, which...
Yeah, it's not that old.
That's like 2009 or something like that. 2008 maybe. Or wait, there isn't a Crisis 3 yet. Is that correct?
No, there is.
Okay, so
Crisis 3 is the one with the bow and arrow. Remember, we went through bow and arrow phase.
That came out last year.
Raider.
So
Yeah.
Crisis 3 came out in March of 2013. Crisis 2 was like 2010 then, because I remember watching like a Giant Bomb quick look for it. That's pretty surprising that that's out of circulation so early, I guess. But I don't know. This is kind of weird. Like, imagine Steam went under. How many games use like Steamworks for multiplayer? That's kind of what I, think of this as. Like, they're not taking those games offline necessarily. I think the GameSpy servers are just finally being shut off, and all the stuff that they made that relies on that framework is being taken off, but I'm not sure.
There's a bunch of other ones too, but they're weird ones. There's like some DS games, apparently.
Yeah, I saw that too. Maybe that doesn't
FIFA
use GameSpy.
Soccer.
I have no idea.
Maybe they're just shutting down all kinds of stuff. They're just tired of dealing with all your junk, with your NASCAR and your Need for Speed. There's Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Isn't that pretty recent?
Well, it depends which Hot Pursuit
Oh,
it is, because Need for Speed Hot Pursuit
knows?
2 originally came out in like 2002, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Someone in chat says Steam reportedly has a dead man switch if it goes under. That seems crazy to me.
The guy running the metro that has to keep the button depressed so in case the train goes down.
Exactly. That's what, to me, that seems like if Steam goes down, Valve is gonna like launch nuclear missiles at Origin or Uplay or something like that.
Horrifying.
Anyway, yeah, I saw some of the games are like Madden '09 for DS it's having its online functionality turned off.
What's that one?
Don't really know. I don't know how much of it is a business decision and how much is like, well, GameSpy doesn't exist anymore and we're not gonna like port other multiplayer framework into these games. So I don't know. I don't like EA as much as anybody else doesn't like EA, and I know that a lot of their decisions are corporately motivated, as with a lot of companies, but I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt here, I guess.
Isn't there a part of you that's like, hey, maybe they just shouldn't start all these things with multiplayer components that need server space indefinitely if they're just going to shut them down in a couple of years? Like,
well,
is there some kind of expectation that you have that they'll be around for like X amount of time? But I guess it's unrealistic, really. I don't know.
for stuff that's like 10 years old, 12 years old, that's okay by my standards. You did your time. I think it would be unreasonable to expect those games to be like available into perpetuity. But for stuff that's only like less than 5 years old, yeah, that kind of sucks. I agree. But I mean, it's the same on like Xbox Live. Halo 2 was discontinued last year or the year before, and that still had like an active community of like a couple hundred people from what I understood. But that was only available for like 8 years, and that game was super popular. But I guess most of those people move on. Yeah, there were people that were pissed. I remember there was like an event where people kept playing the game until like the servers went offline, and then
I remember that.
kind
I
of
feel like they should be able to roll it over to some sort of peer-to-peer thing after that. Like, why don't they have that in the works?
it's a good question. I mean, for me, it's like this was what makes me worry about always online DRM is what happens when like the servers don't work anymore. For online multiplayer, I think it's a little bit more understandable, but the always online stuff is really annoying. Like, what's going to happen to my Uplay games when Uplay doesn't exist anymore? Or, apparently the stuff that is on Games for Windows Live is like on a game-by-game basis, whether or not it's going to work once that's been discontinued.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. That's real weird, the whole Dark Souls thing.
Yeah, I mean, it still works, I guess.
But I don't understand why. It's not supposed to, right? They took down the service.
Yeah, it beats me, but I don't know. Maybe that was a Namco or a From thing. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but I don't know. If you were still playing like Command and Conquer Generals, I would be surprised. What is that Command and Conquer game from like 2003? And it's like a third-person shooter, but it has strategy elements.
Command and Conquer's Bad Fur Day.
That's like a Wheel of Fortune clue or something like that. Like
that
a
was
before
the
and
best
after.
I could do on that. I know what you mean though, but I don't know the title.
It's Renegade? Command and Conquer
Chat
Renegade?
knows. Yeah, it's probably Renegade.
Renegade. I got it at EB Games for like $3 once. That was pretty good.
The Renegades, and it's the time and age.
Command and Conquer's Bad Fur Day. Oh, apparently Games for Windows Live authentication servers still work, but the distribution servers are gone. There you go. I'm not hating on Command and Conquer, chat. I'm just saying, I played Red Alert as much as the next person, but I kind of fell out.
How much did the next person play Red Alert, though, is the question.
I think
we don't know that.
It was popular back in the era where, strategy games that were not Age of Empires re-releases, Civilization, and StarCraft were popular.
All right. I never really got into the series, so I guess I don't really know.
I got Renegade as part of the first Decade bundle. Good stuff. I don't know what a Decade bundle is, but kudos to you. It seems like we have similar kind of patterns for getting that game. I will check and see news, because I saw some other news today that I thought I wanted to talk about. Well, on the same subject, Halo Combat Evolved PC will be getting official patch to fix online play after GameSpy's server shut down.
Woo!
Employee from Bungie, also involved in the patch, will also bring over fixes. That's cool. So,
good crossover there.
Yeah. Am I correct in assuming there was not a Halo 2 or Halo 3 release for PC?
Just two.
There was a Halo 2 release for PC.
Yeah, they stopped after that for some reason. I don't know why. I guess they just weren't profitable enough or something. But yeah, I don't know. They really probably should have. I mean, there was a small modding community. People played it a lot online. People followed it until they stopped supporting 2. And
I guess people still play Halo Combat Evolved online if it's worth patching. Or maybe they're just doing it as a gesture of goodwill. But I think I remember hearing about that fairly frequently. Like, there's still people that there's like a warthog jumping community that just tries to do the most ridiculous stuff in that game still. It's like
community.
There is, 2 years ago, it was like, you probably don't know this. This is like Top of Our Gaming or something back when I still read that. But you probably don't know this, but these guys have been working out this warthog jump for 8 years, and then they finally got it. And it's seriously jumping from the tip of one stalagmite or whichever one points upwards to the tip of another one and balancing on it, or a building that's 400 yards away. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So, I mean, I guess this is... It seems like it's because GameSpy servers are now officially shutting down now a year after the site actually went under. So, I mean, good on Bungie for doing it. I guess for EA it's not feasible, or they don't want to do it, or maybe none of their games that they've talked about have a big enough community to make it happen. But the way they make it sound like this is one dude from Bungie is just going to be oh yeah, I'll just sort that out, no problem. So,
well, it's the whole the Unity checkbox mechanic, right? That we just add that.
Oh yeah. Online multiplayer. I know that developing video games in Unity is exactly like using Game Dev Tycoon. So as long as you have unlimited money, it's online multiplayer is just $10,000 $10,000. So that's cool. Square Enix notes $65 million in net income for this fiscal year after 2013, where they were pretty down on their luck. Excuse me? In accounting ways, at least, even though their games are pretty good. I don't know about you. I don't know how much history you have with Square Enix over the past year or two, but I'm happy to see this because I've liked a lot of their catalog that's come out, actually.
Uh, yeah, I think I generally have cooled a little bit on them lately, but I used to really love them a lot, and I'm open to loving them again.
See,
Just hasn't.
we're coming at this from such different perspectives because I have not cared about anything that Square Enix has done for like 10 years
Right.
until the last 2 years.
Yeah, so we're hitting opposite angles then.
I guess, yeah.
That's fine.
Um, like I really I liked Sleeping Dogs a lot, and I liked Hitman Absolution more than most people. I like Tomb
Right.
Raider a lot, although I've kind of cooled on that one as time has gone on. Although I was really enamored with it when I first got it. And apparently, Final Fantasy XIV, even though it seemed like a long shot, has really turned it around, and it's now considered like one of the best MMOs actually out there. I know that a lot of people whose opinions I really respect on stuff like that, because I don't play them myself, have been talking about it pretty much endlessly, whereas Elder Scrolls Online seems to have kind of fallen off the radar.
Yeah, I'm really shocked that 14 turned around because I heard it was like the biggest train wreck ever when it came out.
Yeah, when it originally released, I heard it was just god awful, but whatever they
Good for
did,
them.
I seriously thought like that was going to be the death knell for like
Right.
maybe not the Final Fantasy series, but at least for it being like a marquee product. When it came out and didn't do very well, and then they're like, okay, we're going to spend like years reworking it, and in the meantime, we're just going to come out with like HD re-releases of the PlayStation 2 games and like more 13s. I was like, all right, well, that's the end of Final Fantasy as like a marquee franchise, I guess. And then fuck me, I guess it comes out and it's actually really, really good. So, more credit to them.
I actually played a lot of 11, so I was surprised that they really just kept to that same format for 14. I thought they were going to go in a whole new direction, and then I guess that's probably why they had such a problem, because they did kind of go in the same direction, so reinventing it was really a good idea.
Yeah.
But good for them.
And I liked Deus Ex Human Revolution as well. So, more credit to Square Enix. I can't remember much else that they put out, but I think generally nowadays when I start up, oh wait, you know what they published? They published Thief, which I thought was pretty bad. But generally when I see the Square Enix publisher kind of logo pop up, I'm thinking that I'm in store for a relatively good product this day and age, which is different than it would have been a couple of years ago. So I guess good for them, and hopefully they can stop acting like things like Tomb Raider are financial losses because they only sold 8 million copies now, and they can get it together a little bit.
They just need to take the budgets down a little bit if they're going to say those are financial losses. That's all you got to do. It's so simple, not having done it myself ever before.
Yeah. It's true, right? Like, we had like basically no business experience, basically no game dev experience. Just make it cost less money.
Just make it cost. It's so easy.
Lower the budget without making the game worse. Is that so hard?
I know.
Anyway.
They just don't get it.
Oh, apparently they published Bravely Default as well. I knew that Bravely Default existed. I didn't know that they published it, though. So that was really well received, too. So kudos to them. Alrighty, then. This is good for you, Nick. Half-Life 2 and Portal now available on the NVIDIA Shield.
Yeah, except I could already stream it anyway. I don't actually understand what exactly you were getting from that. Do you? Because I saw that article, too, and I'm like, all right, I can already stream this from my computer. What else? What, am I buying it as an Android product? Is that the deal?
I guess they just have like a marketplace so you can actually buy stuff and play it locally as opposed to streaming it from your PC.
That's got to be what it is. But I'm surprised that the thing's that powerful, actually. I didn't know it could handle something like Portal.
I guess so. I was going to say like Half-Life 2. That's old, but...
Still, it was cutting edge in 2006.
True.
I remember, the physics model with the crowbar, and it would like splinter the wood, and that was a big deal, I guess.
MySpace was cutting edge in 2006, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still playing my GBA in 2006.
Thank God Justin Bieber bought it, or Justin Timberlake, rather. Wrong Justin, sorry, guys.
Same difference, right?
Same difference.
Yeah, it seems like there's not really that much news that's relevant. Maybe it's, bad luck because Josh isn't here. But, console version of Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls, coming August 19th. It's called Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition.
Sounds really evil.
Are you excited?
I've heard that the console version is actually not bad. I didn't play it still.
Yeah.
They kind of retooled the way all the controls work because it's obviously a very click-heavy game, and since you don't have a mouse and keyboard, you can't do any of that. So they made it so it kind of works like, what the hell is it? Old school Champions of Norath, probably something like that. I was looking at my PS2
Champions
library
of
when I said that.
Norath. Is that
Yeah.
is that the
It's like a hack and slash.
EverQuest RPG? Like it wasn't an MMO, but it was just like an action RPG.
Real-time action RPG, really fun. It's like a top-down style one. I probably could have come up with 800 other metaphors like Titan Quest or something, but yeah, I mean, with a controller, I think that could be a lot of fun. Not enough to spend $60 on it, but it could be a lot of fun.
It's $60 for PS4 and Xbox One, and $40 for PS3 and 360. You know what this? I mean, that seems reasonable to me. You know what this makes me actually want is like a console version of Hearthstone. And I know that a lot of people are gonna like balk at that and be like, "That's so unnecessary." Like the graphics are not gonna benefit it. Like you don't need that kind of power to play Hearthstone. You can play it on your iPad or your PC. Yeah, but I'd really love to just kind of like, sit on the couch and play some Hearthstone. That would be my go-to like console multiplayer game right now, if I could do it.
But how are you going to click on the little things around the outside of the map?
Oh, you would just use like use the D-pad to navigate your
Mouse
cards.
The click button to it or something? R3.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on the touchpad. As much as I've been playing PS4 lately, I'm not sold on the touchpad, but I believe that they could make it work. Let's put it this way, I've been sending tweets with the PS4 controllers, so yeah, it's not as convenient as a keyboard and mouse, but gets the job done. I would totally play a console version of Hearthstone, I think, because I'm.
You can't send tweets on is a smart TV.
Really?
Actually, I got my mom a TV for Mother's Day, and I didn't realize this is a thing now that you can like access Twitter on your TV and use your remote to tweet.
Oh my god!
It's it's awful you do that because there's a huge delay lag when you try to hit any of the buttons. So yeah, random aside, but like that really sucks.
That's really funny though. Is it a touchscreen or is it use the remote?
No, it's just a remote. That's all. Just the little stupid arrow keys on it. That's all you get.
That would take a while, but I appreciate it.
You gotta really want it, I guess.
Tweeting from my TV, it's got. Yeah. I mean, I could just do it from my phone, but I guess it's nice that you can.
Not everybody has a phone, Northernlion.
I guess so, but if you have a smart TV, I'd imagine you'd probably have a phone.
Well, you got a smart son. You don't necessarily have a smart phone.
I get it. Why isn't there a Son's Day, Mom?
Yeah, really. Come on, Mom. Just make me some spaghetti, would you?
I don't really like spaghetti. Somebody asked me on Ask FM this weekend. They're like, "What would you if you had to remove one from the world? What would you remove? Michael Ale Fox or pasta?" And I was like, I don't like one of those things, and I really like the other one. So it's the easiest question of my whole life. It's okay if you like pasta. In the International 2014 American qualifiers started today.
Opadendi.
He's not American, I think.
That's all I know.
Teams available, or teams trying to qualify here. Union Gaming, Sneaky Nick's Assassins, No Earth Spirit, Shadows of the Past, E-Hug, CNB, Esports Club. Isn't CNB, that's like a fetish thing? Or am I thinking like BME, Pain Olympics? Like, is it CNB for me?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds great.
CNB for me is a new fetish called Cock No Balls. And it's just, you like dudes who have a penis but no testicles.
That's like what happened to Ben Stiller, isn't it, in Meet the Parents?
Yeah.
He got the beans above the Franks.
That's actually There's Something About Mary, but he did meet the parents in that movie.
He meets a lot of parents.
He's actually met a lot of parents. You're not wrong. He didn't meet any parents in Zoolander.
I should tell you that my stream, by the way, is the worst stream of all time. I've dropped 90% of my frames. I'm just letting it go because what am I going to do about it? So, sorry, guys.
Well, I mean, once we start streaming Whomp, I think maybe that'll be a little bit less, PC intensive.
It's capping out at like 100 kilobytes down or up, rather. So it's like, it's fucked. Whatever. Sometimes you have bad days.
The last teams were Team Liquid, Isurus Gaming, North American Rejects Top 5, and Revenge Esports. So, best of luck to everyone qualifying there. That's cool. I don't really follow this part of the Dota community, but I'll probably watch the finals of the International if I had to guess. And in related news, the International for prize pool is now $3.8 million American.
It's like a bunch of dollars.
They get $250 per compendium that you buy. Compendium's $10. So the $250 goes to the prize pool, which is crazy. Apparently it's $6 million what they're gonna do is add hats to the actual buildings in Dota, which strikes me as such as like self-aware Valve-y thing to do.
Yeah, that's pretty silly. I kind of like it.
I like it too, actually.
We're not going to raise the damn level cap in Dota. You know, it caps out so freaking low. They got to release the expansion pack and add a bunch of new maps for DLC.
How do people get thousands of hours into that game when the max level's 25? I don't get it.
It's so dumb. Look at WoW. They're up to like 90 or something now, maybe more.
They
get it.
Every expansion just pushes the level cap up, right?
Yeah.
There's another expansion coming next month? This year sometime.
It's soon. Yeah, what they do is it's always higher level cap, like one new class and one new profession, or maybe two new professions, and one big landmass. And then it's always like a small grouping of areas you farm in. And that's it. There's, new raid content, new PvP stuff, but I don't do any of that. I don't do any of it. I don't play WoW anymore.
Well, maybe you will when the expansion comes out. Who knows?
You're so optimistic.
I don't know.
Where do I get the time for that? Making YouTube videos, man.
That's how I feel when people are like, you should totally play Dota again. Just casually. You don't understand. This game
No, there's no casual.
Lives.
Only Zool.
That's why I never played WoW, is I'm like, yeah, if I get addicted to this, you can kiss everything goodbye, basically. It happens, man. Trying to see what else. Here's some news. Sega planned to crush Nintendo 24 years ago. Yeah, okay. We all knew that, I think.
They do what Nintendo don't.
They fold when their hardware fails and then start producing software only.
That's what they do.
It's been a very slow news day. Super Time Force comes out tomorrow for Xbox One and Xbox 360.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Where did that come from all of a sudden?
It came from 2011 and 12 and 13 wild. And now a little bit of 14 as well. So I'm excited to play that. I have not played a new Cappy game in forever, basically. I'm glad that it's finally seeing release, and I'm not super stoked about having to play it on a Microsoft peripheral, but I will. And it gives me an excuse to use my Xbox One for the first time since December, so that's cool.
Yeah. I like that game. I can't wait to play it. I mean, I don't have those consoles, but it should come out for PC, right?
You don't have an Xbox 360?
Oh, I thought you said only Xbox One.
Oh, sorry. No.
No, I do.
I was like, if you didn't have an Xbox 360, how did you survive, like, last generation?
No, I have two of them.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. Easy there.
Yeah, I know.
Well, in the absence of news, why don't we talk about what you actually played this weekend? Did you play video games this weekend?
I played Banana Game today. Banana Game. It's called Banana Hunter Extreme. It's terrible. You're on an island, and you have to find 100 bananas and eat them. That's the entire premise.
Is it
it's like Soda Drinker Pro, but with bananas instead.
Would you call it an adventure game?
No. Just a first-person walk-around and eat bananas game.
So it's like a Proteus, like Potassius.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. That's creative. Yeah, it's a little like Potassius. And it is really nothing in it. I just wanted to bring it up because it's just ridiculous. It's there's no game really. It's just walk around an island and eat bananas. But I also played Starvewood, another indie game of note, I suppose. It's basically I think Don't Starve, but side-scrolling platform action game where you need to constantly be mashing fruit into your mouth. This is a theme apparently all of a sudden.
Starvewood?
Starve, Starve wood.
Starvewood. Okay. Oh, there you go. One day ago.
Yeah, forest, looking for like legs of lamb and meat and grapes and stuff. Just trying to live your life as long as you can, but you're constantly dying the whole time.
Broccoli Smile, #1 SEO for Starvewood right now.
Yeah.
Even outranking the Game Jolt link itself.
I made it, Reddit. I'm just going to say Reddit all the time now.
I like adding we did it, Reddit. Yeah.
I'm going to corner the market on eating fruit in the woods, I think. I'm going to try anyway. If I could just get that to happen in Minecraft, I'd be just basically solid. Glad.
Well, you can make tomatoes. Tomatoes are a fruit, technically.
I don't want to get into that whole thing again.
Is that it? You played 2 games that you just mash fruit in your gullet.
I did. You ever do those escape the room things? I'm basically just reading you the shit on my YouTube channel right now, but I did Viridian Room and I did Crimson Room, which were like those 2 classic. I'm gonna mess up his name, so I'm not gonna say it. But a Japanese developer from like 2004 or 5 decided it would be a cool idea to be stuck in a room and like point and click puzzles and try and get your way out. So it's a pretty classic one.
They're
I still
like
can't beat it.
999
Yes.
And that other one where you're on the submarine for the DS.
I don't know about the submarine.
It's like 999. Maybe 999 is the
It's
one where you're on the submarine.
999, 9 rooms, 9 something, 9 something.
Yeah.
But I know that one, and people kept telling me to play that. I have played that, and it's good. But this is minus all of the characterization. Like, you're just in a room, you just find objects, you click around in circles until you can't find anything anymore, and then you either give up or look at the walkthrough. It's a, classic style of gameplay, I suppose.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, they're fun. I think a lot of people in chat probably have played them before. They're pretty classic, I think, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, VLR is the other one, apparently.
I think I've heard of that, actually.
I think Virtue's
Last Reward.
Yeah, that's the other one I was thinking of.
All right. Well, maybe that's the thing I'll have to look into.
I think it's on DS as well. Kate downloaded it and she's like, "You should play this." And then I played it for 10 minutes and I was like, "Super not my kind of game." I respect it, but this is not for me.
I mean, it's like the Crooked Man, right? Like, you're basically walking around looking at environments for ages, and there's not a whole lot going on.
Yeah. Cool.
No disrespect.
That's an interesting thing to play this weekend. Yeah, I appreciate it. We always have different perspectives on things.
Eating fruit games. That's me this weekend.
Played a lot of eating fruit games. I watched your video I didn't watch your video. I watched your sing-along on Gator Time 7 times.
Thank you.
It was in my head when I woke up this morning. It's just really relaxing.
Gator Time.
It's really good. It's whimsical.
It's weird. I didn't really expect that I would ever put up a video of me singing over another developer singing over his own game, but I did. Sometimes that happens, I guess. You got to roll with things.
I don't know how I missed it last summer, but I'm happy I found it now.
Will Brierley, man, he makes all the best stuff. That's the Soda Drinker Pro guy that made that.
Yeah. He's the one making Fran Bow, right?
No, Vivian Clark.
Vivian Clark. I knew that it was like...
It's like a lady name.
I knew it was a lady name. I did. I don't know what Fran Bow is. People have been asking me to play that. Vivian Clark, Fran Bow, Nancy Drew.
It's like another language all of a sudden.
Chad is just saying "Hi Larry" over and over. I like that. Hi Larry.
Oh man.
Anyway, what did I play this weekend? Well,
what did you play this weekend?
I
didn't know we were done. I was gonna ask.
No, it's okay. I played a lot of MLB The Show, MLB 14 The Show. That game is pretty good. It is the same way some people might just be like, I just buy, or I buy the new Call of Duty or the new Battlefield to just kind of zone out and play for a few hours every night. That's how I feel about MLB 14 The Show right now. I have Fred Durst is trying to make his way up to the majors. Unfortunately, the Albuquerque Isotopes bowed out of the playoffs in the first round. Not due to my fault, but he's batting 400 and getting some occasional play with the LA Dodgers, which I thought was great because it's the closest team to the LA Dongers, I would say.
Okay.
Fred Durst, number 69 on the LA Dongers is my dream. But that game's pretty fun. And I'm now so deep down the rabbit hole of sports games. My most anticipated game of the next month is Transistor, but then it's EA MMA or EA UFC. I'm stoked for it. I don't know anything about MMA. I'm just excited to punch people in the face and sit on my couch.
I remember that old one you did, the Xbox Live Arcade game. That looked terrible, so hopefully it's nothing like that.
Bellator MMA was terrible. What seems really cool about EA MMA is that it's got a career mode, which you might expect, but then your character can only take so much punishment over the course of their career before they're basically forced into retirement by a brain injury. So
gotcha.
That really, it's like a roguelike in some ways, right? Just to anger as many people as I possibly can with my casualness. Anyway, so I've been playing that. I've been playing some Kero Blaster, which is the new game from Pixel, the Cave Story dude, that we are going to play during the third section of today's stream, which is pretty cool. We'll talk about that more when we actually do that. I've been playing the game that people are seeing right now, which is Fistful of Frags. Came out on Steam this week.
What's that about?
It's a Source Engine mod, so TF2, Half-Life 2 era,
right.
That is now standalone on Steam and completely free, and it's basically a Wild Wild West. Sorry, not Wild Wild West. That's totally different.
Excuse me.
It's a Wild West shooter. So, you have carbines and revolvers and, throwing knives and whiskey and dynamite and stuff like that. It's just it's kind of like a Wild West version of Loadout is what I described it as in my video, where I was basically just playing it casually, having a good time. Nothing too deep, but it's a nice break from things like Global Offensive, where I just get frustrated now. So
does it have like a Jim West skin? Because I could get into that.
No, it only has like 4 skins basically. So
oh, you hear what you just said?
It only has 4 skins. You got me.
A moment of silence for that one.
Yeah, pour one out for the 4 skins. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I'm trying to think of what else. I guess I'll just check Steam quickly. Oh, you know what I played? I played The Last Tinker, City of Color. That game is freaking cool.
Yeah, I need to play that. I've had it for ages, and I just haven't played it yet.
Did you see the video, or have you played it yourself at all yet?
I have not. I've actually sequestered myself on this because I want to have a legit first impression, if possible.
So I played it at GDC. I didn't have an appointment. I just, like, last day, I was like, oh, I have some time, and I walked up and started playing it, and I was like, this is really terrible. Like, I don't know where to go, and like it was past the tutorial, so I just kind of like walked in and was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I left with really terrible impressions. There was nobody manning the station to like babysit me, so I was just like an infant basically. And then when I played it myself from the beginning this weekend, I really liked it. It is like just a really, really fun 3D platformer. Along the same lines as like a Banjo-Kazooie or something like that. The only thing I don't like is the combat, which is just basically mash buttons as much as you possibly can. But
right,
the game looks beautiful and it plays quite nicely as well. And a lot of heart went into that game.
Very cool.
I'm
definitely going to check it out for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It came out today on Steam. And I think a lot of people are really going to like it. It strikes me as one of those games kind of like Tiny and Big, that people are going to be like, it's a small-ish platformer with a lot of character that is going to be remembered fondly.
Cool.
That is the way that I would describe it. So that's probably the best game that I played this week, actually. I can't believe I forgot about it. But I've been playing a lot of stuff recently, so...
I just noticed Killer is Dead is pre-purchasable on Steam. That's kind of surprising to me. It's the first, I think, Suda51 game available on PC, maybe?
You might be right. Shadows of the Damned isn't available on PC?
I didn't think it was, but I'm going to check right now.
Well, one of the few things... Actually, we can talk about a couple more pseudo-news stories.
Pseudo-51 news stories.
And we're really digging deep here, because there's just been no news this week. I'm going to read through the 30 games on sale for Steam's week-long deals. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I want you to give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or a haven't played it for each of these, okay? Frontline Tactics.
Haven't played it.
World War II Panzer Claws. These are all 50 to 90% off. Some of them are 33.
Is this going to be a trick question? Am I not going to have played any of them because I'm not looking at them because I haven't played that either?
You probably played some of them, but okay. Draw a Stickman Epic.
I don't know what that is.
Sacred Citadel.
Sorry.
Okay. Sacred Citadel is $250, and it's okay. Sacrifice. Not my sacrifice. Okay, Sonic Generations.
Put that away from me. All right, that one I think we can give a thumbs up to.
All right, that's $750. Kung Fu Strike.
I've heard of that one at least, but I don't have an opinion on it.
It's $250. I don't think it's super great, but a lot of people seem to like it. Okay, I'm gonna go for only the most noteworthy ones that I can find then.
Okay, sweet.
Guns of Icarus Online. Have you played that?
We know what we think about Guns of Icarus Online.
I haven't played it yet, so I have no idea what to think. I know the marketing is like crazy town, but
yeah, that's pretty much where I stopped.
Oh, okay, all right. Uzi Earth Adventures is $340. I don't know if you played it. But
I think I have played that, and I think I liked it. Maybe
you liked it. I did not like it. What I will say, if you like Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams, you should check out Uzi Earth Adventures.
I got to refresh my... looking at it right now. Hang on. Uzi Earth
I think
Adventures.
You might have played it. Mirror Moon EP is $6.
That's good. I like that one.
Nick
real weird.
Like that one.
Nobody's figured out what it is yet, but it's good.
That's what I'll say as well. It's weird. And that could be good, could be bad. No going in that it's one of those like experimental arty type games.
Yeah, you could watch my video on it and you would still have no idea like what the game's about after you're done. Because I didn't know. I still don't know.
10-Second Ninjas, $6.70. I think that's a great game.
Yeah, that's a thumbs up for sure.
If you're going to get one game in the weekly sale, that might be the one that I would suggest. And Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed is $5, which is a good deal.
Danica Patrick Gets Ghosted is the best game that you can do that in.
I would recommend that game as well, even in spite of my distaste for Sega for the most part. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is Steam now defaults to the top sellers list instead of the new releases tab when you go to it.
Oh.
Do you have any strong feelings about that one way or the other?
Not really, actually. I thought I did for a split second. It's like, no, I could still find the other thing if I need it.
In reality, I think that's a very reasonable decision, that it's just like, you just click once and then you're back there. And I would love to share the same opinion as you. But for me, this has become kind of like a catalyst to me being like, it's like Valve has now recognized that the Steam store is a little bit broken, but their solution is just like, well, there's a lot of games, the new releases that go too quickly, so why don't we just put it on top sellers? So when you go to like Steam, you'll see Rust and DayZ and Watch Dogs pre-order, Dark Souls 2, Gary's Mod, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, like every time you go to it. So I don't know. For me, it's like a Band-Aid fix for the problem of the store. I don't know, just being overrun right now, but I guess in hindsight, or in reality, it's not that big of a deal.
For discoverability, I imagine this is like the one chance that developers get to have like there's 3 seconds in front of a ton of people. So if they don't even necessarily get that first impression anymore, I could legitimately understand them being kind of upset about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of what they did with the indie game marketplace on Xbox 360 when they just kind of made it go away for a while. And all the developers like, no one's going to find our game on here at all. I don't think it's as bad as that because obviously it's one click away instead of embedded in like 6 menus. But hey, yeah, I mean, you could be pissed, I guess.
It's pretty fucked up that, you could actually come out with a game on your launch day. And let's say you launch at like 10 a.m. and another game launches at like 10:15. You could actually be pushed out of the front page of new releases on the first day.
You should at least get a day's worth of it.
Yeah. So now what's happening is people are like the new releases visibility is not reliable anymore. Previously, you can get like maybe 1, 2, 3 days up there. Now people want these like featured spots, but everybody wants those featured spots like at the top where you can scroll through like the ads or the 6 spots at the bottom or just below that. So yeah, I think visibility is a real problem. I don't know if defaulting to the top sellers list necessarily solves the problem at all, but it is at least maybe Valve recognizing that there's something wrong with the Steam store page that probably needs to be worked on.
Yeah, I'm starting to think too, like it's amazing to look at this, the way the layout works and think like how much the graphic design elements in this decision have completely influenced who has and has not made thousands of dollars.
Right, yeah.
Just like the placement of a bunch of pixels.
Well, I'm pretty sure like Steam is, with the amount of releases that it's getting, it kind of feels to me like it's turning into the App Store to some extent, where like the best way to get visibility is to sell just a fuck ton of copies. Because then you kind of get yourself entrenched on the lists where people actually look for new stuff. Like when people go to the iOS store, very, very rarely, I think, do they go to recently added. It's always like top paid, top free, and then they just scroll down until they find something that they like. So, Steam's kind of like that. I feel like the rich get richer, which is fine to some extent, but I also feel that even more so than ever, maybe, like, it's harder to gain traction on Steam at all. Like, just getting on Steam is not worth anything anymore.
Well, they wanted it to be a great equalizer, right? The whole Greenlight program was an incentive for developers to be on the same ground as major publishers. And if they're just going to continue to separate those two things, then like, what was the point of that effort? But I'm over-exaggerating. This is really not that big of a deal.
Not to be the guy now who is like, console gaming is better than PC gaming. I don't agree with that. I prefer to play almost everything on the PC when I get the opportunity to do so, except Hearthstone, apparently. But it's weird, I know. But I could start to see, like, right now, PC is like the indie darling because you can self-publish on a lot of sites. It's not super unfeasible to get through Greenlight with a little bit of work and publicity, and that's where the majority of the indie audience probably is. But as it kind of gets oversaturated, I could start to imagine a situation where Microsoft and Sony and even Nintendo start to maybe snipe a few more prominent indie games off because they're like, why would I risk releasing into this? Why would I risk being like a little fish in a big pond when I could be a big fish in a little pond? And, when stuff comes out, even bad stuff comes out on PS4 or Xbox One, it still gets like maybe not marquee featuring, but it, sits at the top of the store for a while. There'll be like a banner to raise awareness and stuff like that.
It seems to me like if you're really trying to be smart about the whole thing, you would use that leverage back in the other direction again. So you get to be the big fish in the small pond and then come back to Steam at some point if you can. And then use the fact that everybody knows you from there with a new version of the game or something, the gold edition that all of a sudden people care about because they already have the exposure from the other platform.
That's true. I think you can get away with that as long as you kind of communicate effectively, because you don't want to end up in like a Phil Fish situation where people are not that Fez didn't sell copies. It moved over 1 million units as far as I know on the PC alone, but where people are like, I'm not going to buy your game because you forsook the PC with your first release,
right.
And that's to some extent. I don't know if you heard this, and this is probably going to come as a shock to a lot of people in the chat right now. But Edmund basically announced, or confirmed at least, that Rebirth is going to launch on Sony platforms with a little bit of an exclusivity period before it comes out on PC. And I see people already that are like, you're betraying your PC audience. And I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it. And it's a little bit more of a kind of crazy issue, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little sad to hear that, but, at the same time, whatever. Kind of happened a lot of times with a lot of games at this point, kind of over being worked up about. It's not like I don't have 500 other games to play for 5 minutes.
That's true, yeah. And I'll just get it on, oh man, chat. This is a realization. It hasn't, I'm trying to say it hasn't been formally confirmed, but on his Tumblr, and I know, yes, he said the game's going to cost $800, but he was answering these questions unsarcastically. He was saying it's going to launch on the Sony platforms with a little bit of exclusivity. So I believe that's great. I believe that's
fucking excuse me.
Yeah, people are
get the pitchforks.
People are displeased about it.
Communist.
Wait, I thought it was canceled. That I like that joke has become real.
Oh yeah, well. I've seen people make that joke outside of this area now, which means that it's spreading, and that's kind of hilarious and bad.
Edmund says that, this is what chat says. Edmund said it's because Sony requires exclusivity to publish on it. I don't believe that's... If he said it, I don't know if that's true or not, but I believe that the content of that answer is not true. I've never heard of Sony requiring exclusivity to publish their games on Vita or PSN. It would seem pretty silly considering how many games come to PSN after they've already been on Steam for a year or 2 years, et cetera, but anyway.
I feel like I can think of some example that actually says that's not true, but it's not coming to mind.
Well, Fez.
Yeah, but I was thinking if it's a launch though.
Oh, okay. Well, Octodad launched on PC when PS4 was already out.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Maybe they're changing their indie policy. I would be surprised though, but
they should probably not do that, in my opinion.
I'm not saying that Rebirth is not going to be on PC. I am just saying that what he said is that it's going to have some exclusivity on PS4 first. Anyway, and I don't know. It might be 4 days. It might be a week. It might be 6 months. I doubt it, but
probably not going to be 4 days.
It's probably not going to be 4 days, but I don't think it's going to be 6 months either.
Guess I'm getting a PS4 to play Binding of Isaac.
I would be very surprised if he and Nicalis drew that much ire or wanted to draw that much ire from the PC audience, where the game has already sold 2 million copies. But maybe that's what they're thinking as well, is that so many people own the game on PC that maybe we'll put it out on another platform, and people who didn't get a chance to play it will play it. But also anyone who has a PC that can run Google Chrome should be able to run Isaac. Anyway. Interesting.
I may actually get a PS4 to play Isaac, which will be really weird.
It's still, as far as I know, it's still at least a few months away from even talking about release. So we'll see what comes up. There hasn't been any confirmed dates or anything like that. Maybe we'll get some confirmation on that in the future. But I guess honestly, that is some of the biggest news. I guess is that it might get some exclusivity period on PC. Anyway. There should be some interesting fan mail if you have responses, questions, or comments about what we've been talking about, or just want to ask us something. nlssfanmail@gmail.com, particularly with respect to the Isaac issue. Might be interested to get your thoughts on that. And we'll be back in 3 minutes. After that, we're going to be playing some Whomp. It better be good, Nick.
I thought I remembered it being fun. I hope you like it. We'll see.
Nintendo Power gave it a 3.1 out of 5 in 1991.
That's pretty good.
With inflation, that's like a 4.9 out of 5 now. So
that's really good.
All right.
We're going to love it.
We'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm going to vet some of the fan mail. See you guys then.
I don't feel good about running commercials on this. Oh my god, my thing has been red the entire time we've been streaming.
That sucks, man.
I hate my internet. It's probably because it's like a warm day for the first time, and I don't know what that means, but
like the air's thicker.
Yeah, they can't let the internets through the pipes as well because the air is so thick. It's awful.
That J. Smith OTI is completely out of control today. Why did I just get that in a tweet? This motherfucker has like 1,000 tweets today.
Josh, he's going nuts on the tweets?
He's got, oh my god, he's got so many tweets.
Oh, his phone's going to die, though, so he's probably not going to be tweeting much longer.
Truly staggering amount of tweets. You know, even if his phone doesn't die, there is a thing on Twitter where if you send over X number of tweets a day, it stops you and says you can't do it until midnight. I've been caught by it like once or twice in the past, and I'm always like, it's a real moment of reflection where I'm like, right. I've been tweeting so much that Twitter won't let me tweet anymore, even though it knows I'm not a spam bot. I'm like, oh,
Put
man.
you in Twitter jail.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
It's like, you know, one of your friends being like, hey, dude, maybe you should slow down on the drinks or something like that.
Just politely grabs your shoulder and is like, hey, let's think about this.
Yeah. Oh, well. Well, lots of questions.
I'm going to go fight my cable company like this week, so I hope I get better internet real soon.
Excuse me? Yeah, that's
I'm
a good idea.
really looking forward to that happening if that happens, because, you know, spending the entire night to upload one YouTube video, probably not practical at this point.
Is that seriously how long it takes?
I did a 300 or 600 meg video. It took like 6 hours.
Oh, man.
It was worse than normal, though, last night, so I think we're just seeing the runoff of whatever that was still affecting me now.
Fan mail. Do you have any thoughts on WildStar?
Really good marketing team.
Oh, this is actually a good question. I don't want to spoil it for you just yet.
Okay.
I'm actually dropping frames occasionally as well.
I guess it could theoretically be a combination of both Twitch and my internet.
You might be right. There's actually a lot of good questions today.
Cool.
Yeah. Bractaman, why did you send me an email where the font is in black and the background's in gray? This is like
you know exactly why.
Some ICQ stuff.
ICQ, you want to go to the Gathering of the Juggalos, is that what you're saying?
ICQ. That's Insane Clown Quarterly. It's the magazine of Juggalos.
You came up with that really quickly.
I backed myself into a corner. That's my sense of humor is like urgency. It's start making the joke and then just figure out a punchline by the end.
It works for you though. You got it under a crunch time thing.
I appreciate that.
I think my stream just died.
Oh no.
Gave up.
I've dropped more frames than I'm happy with, but so be it. We are back from ads, so here's what I'm gonna do. Let's start going through some of these questions, Nick.
Sure.
Lots of good ones today that I'm very excited about, so we'll take it back. Ooh, a little framey there. My apologies. But, all right. Okay, question 1. Yeah, this is it. Dear Nick and Ryan, please explain this to me. Why is Fred Durst arrested at the end of the Nookie music video? That's from Drew. Thank you for the question, Drew. Nick, do you have a hypothesis for this?
All right. Well, I got to think through the lyrics real quick here. I guess I could go with the obvious answer and say probably he just made some kind of really stupid comment and like maybe threatened somebody. Kind of seems like he flew off the handle a little bit because he's in a bad place because about how he started this relationship with the Nookie. Yeah. Kind of went wrong. He, like you just said, he backed himself into a corner. Maybe he lashed out at the world and they had to get the cops involved. Seems like a Durst thing.
just Durst things. My hypothesis, and I have sources to back this up, is that Limp Bizkit was actually, with their music videos, they were trying to draw this kind of narrative that they were like the most feared band, and like their music was so like passionate and angry that it was actually dangerous to society. So you'll notice in like the Nookie video, they get arrested. I think they get arrested because the police have been, probably from presidential order. At the time, Bill Clinton was like, you got to arrest these fuckers or they're going to corrupt society with the truth that Durst is spitting. And then you'll recall at the story of the rearranged music video is that they're actually in prison and they've got like that kind of like lamenting moment, right? With the
Yeah.
And then
Think about it.
Near the end, when they're the jury's deliberating, they're like, how should we purge the world of Limp Bizkit? They have like that montage of all their best moments. It's like their life flashing before their eyes. So I believe that they basically wanted to have almost like a Jesus Christ-like story.
It built up for the resurrection.
And the resurrection is when Fred Durst gets pulled down at the end of the rearranged music video from heaven, and instead he's kicking it with Method Man at the start of End Together Now. And then I'm pretty sure for their next music video, they were just like, well, I don't know, what do we do from this? So they were just like hanging out. And then he has more questions. Why does Ben Stiller appear at the beginning of the Rollin' Air Raid Vehicle music video?
I'm not done with the other question. I don't want to go
sorry,
on yet.
Please.
I was thinking how cool that idea was, but what if they were in on it the whole time? Like, what if they wanted to indoctrinate the masses that they were going to be a problem? So, like, they set up this whole scenario. They made it look like they were being arrested, but in reality, it was just so they put it into the public perception that they were trouble. So people in, their natural state of rebellion go after the troublemaker. It's like that whole teenage girl's like the bad boy kind of thing. So they wanted the United States public and well, the entire world, to be honest with you, to think that they were the bad guys. So obviously there would be much more sex appeal involved.
I don't disagree. But I don't think they wanted to be seen as the bad guys. I think they wanted to be seen as the guys who did bad things, but in the interest of society. They were like the guys on Twitter who were like, I'm just telling it like it is. Don't get mad.
I saw him more like an anarchist, really, like a Joker figure.
Really? Fred Durst more like a Joker figure? I
don't see that he's self-aware or controlling himself most of the time. I mean, he packs a chainsaw. Who does that?
All right. We'll agree to disagree on that.
That's fine.
I think the reason that Ben Stiller was at the start of the Rollin' music video is he's his favorite motherfucker.
That's obvious. It's right in the lyrics.
It's you employ your friends. It's like an Adam Sandler type, nepotism type thing. And then the last question that Drew had here was, feel free to explain why the title of the song includes, in parentheses, Air Raid Vehicle. And the answer...
I actually know the answer to that.
Yo, please then, Nick, go ahead.
There was 2 edits of it. There was a radio edit and a non-radio edit, and that's how they differentiated the two. Someone in your chat also just called me out and asked if I actually know that they're not in charge of all the things that happen in their music videos. Like, no, I don't know that. Maybe that's really the police. I don't know.
No, that's Sting. There is also, beyond the radio edit and Air Raid Vehicle, there is like a remix of, it's not a remix, it's just a different version of Rollin' called Urban Assault Vehicle, which features DMX and a couple of other rappers, which is a little bit more, it's got like some like Caribbean drums in it. It's a little bit more, like hydraulic. I don't know what you would even describe it. It's the kind of, the reason I think I thought of that is because one of the comments when, a couple weeks ago, I listened to Rollin' Urban Assault Vehicle on YouTube, one of the comments was like, if I had a tank in Iraq, I could totally imagine blasting this shit on the biggest speakers ever out of my tank. And I was like, that is a really good description of what this song wants to make you feel.
I think that was just on the B-sides. Like, there was a director's cut version or like a special edition of the album, and I think they just had some extra remixes that they threw on. I think that's the only reason that exists. Who knows, though?
All right. That's those Fred Durst questions.
Holy
answered.
Jesus, why so much love for that shitty band, or is just sarcasm? I'm not going to answer that.
Exactly. Lamatai Tebichai asks, you know what? I'm just going to call you Hog Cranker, because that's the other alias announced here. I don't want to mispronounce the name. We know your preferences for deli meats, but what about salads? Tuna salad, egg salad, chicken salad, pasta salad, potato salad. What do you think, Nick?
I like all of those.
You like all the... What do you prefer? Do you prefer, your standard greens-based salad, or are you kind of like the new age salad, mayonnaise or vinaigrette-based salad products?
I actually like just about every kind of salad as long as it doesn't have like nuts in it.
Okay.
I have nut allergies, so I can't really have a lot of nuts
That makes a
in
lot
my
of sense.
mouth. Um, but yeah, I really don't have a lot of preferences. Like I'll go for the vinaigrette, I'll go for the Caesar. Caesar can be a little heavy at times. Got too much like mayonnaise or whatever. It's
Yeah,
kind of gross.
I know what you're saying.
But yeah, it's just too heavy. But the croutons, I'm a big fan of croutons. As far as like the deli salads, I like egg salads, I like chicken salads, shrimp salads, whatever, man. I'm cool with all of it. Put it on some toasted bread. I'll enjoy it.
I don't like egg salad, but all the other salads I can get behind as long as they're not mayonnaise based, like a pasta salad. Pasta solid?
Pasta salad.
Pass the solid, please.
Give me a pasta salad.
If I have a pasta salad, if it's a vinaigrette based, I can totally get down with it. I'm not a big mayonnaise fan, so I share your opinion on Caesars as well. But big fan of like standard greens or spinach. But I like nuts in my salad. Don't take that out of context. Like some roasted hazelnuts or walnuts or something. Not hazelnuts, walnuts, but they're delicious. Almond slivers, mandarin orange pieces. Throw it all in there.
No, for the sake of the texture and stuff, I totally appreciate the concept of the nuts. I just can't eat them, so I just, can't.
Do you have a favorite salad cheese?
I don't think I've ever thought about that before. I guess I don't.
I'll take a feta. I like feta on a salad. Or if someone else is buying, some goat cheese.
Oh.
Real creamy.
You do the crumble.
The feta is the crumble. The goat cheese is more of a schmear.
I'm thinking of the blue cheese too, because that's also, I'm not a fan of blue cheese at all. I don't like any kind of like moldy cheeses in my stuff.
I like some stinky cheeses, but they're not my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't like mayonnaise either. I was always more of a fan of Skeeter. All right, pretty good chat.
I didn't see that coming, so well played.
All right, thank you for the question, Hog Cranka. Dear Northernlion and Co., would you consider... Oh, so pretty much Nick is what it says. Would you consider buying Rebirth on both PlayStation Vita and Steam? Or sorry, PlayStation Vita and 4 and Steam? Sincerely, Smoothskin Solo. P.S. When will you stop J. Smith's drunken nonsense? I don't control that guy. He lives his own life.
No one does.
He doesn't even control himself. So yeah, obviously I will buy Rebirth probably at least twice, just especially for Vita, just to have it on the go, and then on PC for many obvious reasons. But what do you think, Nick?
Yeah, same. I have no qualms with saying that I would probably buy that game on every platform it's going to come out with.
Especially given that the PC version is going to have a loyalty discount, I think it's going to make it more feasible to buy, like... Because I don't know this for a fact. I would imagine that Rebirth is going to launch at $15 or $20. And... Again, I have no insider information to tell me that whether or not that's true one way or the other. That's just what my hunch is. So I would not be surprised if it's $15 on Vita and 15 or 20 on PC. Maybe you get $5 or $10 off if you already own the original, if they can actually do that. You can do that through Steam, I know for a fact. But anyway, so yeah, I think it'll make it a little bit more feasible. But sure, I play way too much of that game to not do that.
And I don't even play it like professionally or anything. I just enjoy it enough that I would buy it a bunch of times. It's fine. I like it.
I love Spelunky, don't get me wrong. I play way less Spelunky though, and I've already bought that 3 times. So
right, same. Yeah.
Xbox Live Arcade, PSN, and PC. But to their credit, all the PSN stuff is cross-buy too. So if you own Spelunky on PSN already, you're gonna get it on PS4 when it comes out too.
Sweet.
So yeah, cool. Thank you for that question. Do we have anything else? Is DMX in jail? Please tell me. I don't know.
Check this site.
So Elucidator sent me this. You can't see it, but it is an ASCII picture of Space Cat. It's really good. It's made out of... I have no idea what it's made out of, because there's a lot of hashtags involved, but then there's also, like, colors. It's like orange and yellow. I don't know how you get those out of the characters, but... I guess you just color the font on them. This is extremely well done, Elucidator. Thank you very much for that, Space Cat. Excuse me? Nuts in my salad just subscribed. I'll make an exception to my shout-out rule to get that one going right away. I think that's basically all we have for... I mean, there's more questions, but we can't get to all of them. Brack the Man asked, do you think Steam needs a major website redesign in order to stay competitive? Or if they just focus on the top sellers, is that only because... Or is that the only business decision they need to make to be relevant? And secondarily, do you believe indie devs should start targeting Wii U because it has no software to get noticed? On the second point, I'll just, butt in on myself quickly and say that that's what, Curve Studios said. And that's why they're making Stealth Inc. 2, the sequel to Stealth Bastard, a Wii U exclusive. They said in that interview, I think we covered it on the stream like 2 weeks ago, the CEO was like, yeah, we're going to put it out on the Wii U because there's no competition. So
we'll see. Go.
Yeah, basically we're going to experiment and maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't, but this is why we're doing it. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking to be a big fish in a small pond, putting out a noteworthy indie game on the Wii U is probably going to help you accomplish that versus just kind of releasing it into the miasma of Steam. But anyway, Nick, I'll push that first question to you. Do you think Steam needs a major website redesign in order to stay competitive? Or if they just focus on the top sellers, is that the only business decision they need to make to be relevant?
I think it's kind of inevitable that they will have one, whether or not they do it for any particular reason, just because that's the nature of all markets and the way that things go. There will always be a time when there is a website redesign, and that's not even necessarily because they need one, although I do think that they do. I think there's just this thing that seems to happen where in order to stay fresh, you just always need to be changing your look and your image and things. And it's just one of those things that I've seen happen in just about every brand that I've followed for the last 20 years. They've all reimagined something about themselves. And many times it seems to be to their own detriment for some reason. But I doubt that they'll make too terribly uninformed decisions as far as Steam goes. They've made good decisions for the most part.
I still like Steam. It's still by far my favorite PC distribution platform. And if possible, I prefer to play everything on Steam. I prefer to buy things on Humble for the most part, though, just because it's a little bit less cluttered and
right.
Devs get more of the share of the profits.
Excuse me?
And 10% goes to charity as well. But Steam's still very much the preeminent store, and I don't know if they have to make changes yet, but I don't know if they need to make changes to the front page. I think they will, but I'm not a designer, so I have no idea. But I really would like them to cut back on either cut back on the amount of games you release or just allow self-publishing, because at this point, like 20 new games a day is the same as 12 new games a day is the same as 50 new games a day, as far as I'm concerned. It's the Wild West. Why even just put like these arbitrary barriers with respect to Greenlight and stuff like that up when people are just like, hey, if you vote for me on Greenlight, I'll give you a free copy of my game. I think Greenlight has become kind of a sham for everything but like the top 30 or 40 games at any given time. So I wish they would just allow self-publishing at this point.
It'd be really nice if they just guaranteed whatever spots they have for the day and just said, well, we can only take this many per day and you'll get the same exposure guaranteed every time.
Yeah.
Or just find a way to scale it so it doesn't seem to be an issue anymore.
Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know if
there's just so many variables for people is all.
The thing that's weird is that I bet from Valve's end, like Steam is making more money than ever, but I think it's and they're probably making more money on more games than ever, but the amount of money per game, I imagine, is kind of as a necessary byproduct of that falling a lot. And I do think that there's probably a bigger division than usual. I don't have data to back any of this shit up, so I might just be talking out of my ass, but I think there's a greater division between the games that do super well and the games that just don't do well at all. Like, if you look at, here's a game, Waves, I believe, sold like 30,000 copies on Steam, and it's like a Geometry Wars type thing. 30,000 copies was considered a disappointment for the developer back when they released it on Steam, if I remember the postmortem correctly. I imagine that many, many games don't even come close to shipping 30,000 copies on Steam now, if they come out with like no press and they don't have a gimmick and no YouTubers are really playing them. So I don't know. It's weird. That's Steam. It's weird, but still the dominant platform by far.
Hey, it'll be cool to see what they do in the next 5 years. I'm sure there'll be some big moves.
Yeah, I agree. In any case, let's shout out the subscribers from this section. Thitan11, right. Chastity's Virginity, Caterco's 1, Pandacest, Enderby, Nuts in My Salad, and Demon Cthulhu 4. Thank you very much for those subscriptions.
And I had Fruzel and Wear_Underpants. Thank you very much for your subscriptions, and I really appreciate it, especially given the horrible stream that I'm putting up.
Wonderful. Let's take 3 minutes of ads. When we come back, we're going to be playing Whomp on the NES Entertainment console. That's the NESEC, apparently, from my acronym. We'll see you in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right.
All right, camera's going away.
Oh, yes. I wonder if this is in the Twitch database. Yep, there it is. Whomp 'em.
Oh, do you have the link for the other thing?
I forwarded it to you.
Oh, okay. I didn't check there. Thank you.
And the password for the file is in it as well.
Okay.
I think there's a Watch Dogs review event.
Oh?
Yeah. I think people are reviewing Watch Dogs right now.
That's interesting. I kind of like to review Watch Dogs, I think.
There's a lot of people in Santa Monica.
Heard of that place.
Santa Monica, yeah, a lot of people, a lot of games press flying into SFO to review things, and it really makes me think that that Watch Dogs is being reviewed right now at a review event, which is super annoying if that's the case. Just because I think that's a stupid way of doing critical content. No fault to the writers, though.
Oh, it's so you can sequester them away and give them lots of drinks and stuff, right?
Pretty much, yeah. And just make sure, like, you know, it's the best possible playing environment.
Right.
And give them a Nexus 7. I don't know. I shouldn't necessarily be saying this because I don't know if it actually is a review event, and if it is, I don't know if it's for Watch Dogs. But I would say that all signs seem to be pointing towards a Watch Dogs review event right now.
It's just sort of a good fall guy for cynicism because those are things that have happened, and you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It happens.
Maybe I can move my camera a little bit to center myself. Hey, that's a little bit better. All right, here we go. Nick, I hope this game's not as racist as it sounds.
Oh, yeah, I kind of didn't really think about that part. You know, it's a different time. I hope it isn't either.
Oh, that's way too loud.
Yeah, you know what we're going to do? We're not going to actually bother trying to make a fancy setup here. We're just going to put the game in the center with black bars on the side. Sorry.
Yeah.
My stream sucks today.
Your stream sucks.
It's really bad today.
I've dropped a lot of frames as well, actually. So I feel your pain. And
it did go up a little bit since we stopped using cameras.
Well, that's good. I like to hear that.
Like a little bit.
Is this too loud still? Just wait a second. If I know an NES game, there should really be some like title screen music here. No?
No, I don't think there's any.
I think that's suitable. Might be a little loud.
When it loops back to the demo reel part, you'll hear some swooshing.
Yeah, I noticed that part. This is a Jalico joint, huh? Nick, are you ready to get started playing Whomp 'em?
Think so.
All right, let's do this. Can you explain to me? I have to admit I have never played this.
That's all right. It's really not complicated or anything. It's essentially a Mega Man clone with some Native American folklore involved in it. Like you said, I hope it's not particularly racist or anything. If it is, our apologies. It was not the intent, but
we didn't make it.
You know, yeah, that's true.
All right. So we're attacking these mushrooms.
Obviously, yeah.
This actually controls like super smoothly.
Right. I remember thinking when I played that the game was really kind of well made, which is not a thing you run into much for Nintendo games.
That was like the first thing I noticed. Well, this is not a Nintendo game, Nick. This is Jalico.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to step on their brand.
Excuse me? Does Jalico still exist?
I haven't heard of it existing lately.
So, Viagra on steroids, up, down, to the side. Welcome to the Lion Pride. It's a pretty good name. So, can you explain to me what we're actually doing here? I know that I have a spear, and I'm using this to chop up mushrooms. I have hearts. That's, you know, par for the course.
Yeah.
What the heck is that? What about this lantern thing that's going on? Like, you see that next to...
Yeah, no, I see it. There's, there's some stuff that happens as we finish each of the levels. Like I said, it's sort of a Mega Man clone, so there's items that'll occur that are important for various reasons.
Okay.
I don't actually 100% remember what those items do, but I'm going to hope that the path becomes obvious once we start killing some bosses, and maybe we'll be able to put them to some use. Also, thank you very much to whoever that donor was. I will check you in just a moment. We had the "oh no, you didn't" go off.
Would you say that this is like an NES version of Dark Souls, Nick?
Absolutely. I will say that about any game that you can come up with.
This is a roguelike Dark Souls.
A Jalico Dark Souls.
DAE sick of indie games with this 8-bit aesthetic?
Yeah.
Anyway. You know what I'm excited for? I'm excited for Shovel Knight.
Oh, that's the thing I just said.
Oh, did you?
That's funny. Yeah, as you were saying that, I said, kind of makes me want to play Shovel Knight.
All right. Which level are you going to go to?
Tutorial. I'm going to go to Ice Ritual, because that sounds badass.
All right, I will join you at the Ice Ritual.
Sounds like a terrible idea, actually, but I'm going to go there anyway.
This volcano has eyes. Is this what they made that movie about?
Volcanoes have eyes, you mean?
Oh.
Yes, that is actually what they made it about.
This is some...
That's the one where they ripped the canary's head off for some reason, right? I think that's...
I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never seen The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about... I'm talking about the Volcanoes Have Eyes. It's a totally different movie.
It's like a 2D Dark Souls.
I'm in trouble already. I'm kind of taking a few hits on the way down.
Yeah, because this is the most heinous level design of all time, I've noticed.
No, it's really good. You need to use the spear facing downward, though.
Oh!
Oh, I used my lantern. It refills your health. It's like a fairy in Zelda.
Okay. You are correct.
Oh, shit. I got a match.
I also got a match.
And I opened the doorway. It's over here. Oh my god, this place is awesome.
These eyes in the background are not actually deadly, then.
No, they seem like they should be, but they're not.
Katniss Everdeen 69 THG on F? Is that correct? Well, thank you for the subscription.
The girl on fire.
Oh!
That's what I assume it was.
Wow, that is very astute, Nick.
Okay, you can farm these guys.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
I think we're on exactly the same spot. Also, Andarius.
I'm in
Same
trouble,
to you,
though.
buddy. Up, down to the side. Welcome to the Lion Pride. Thanks for the subscription. Are you getting anything from these farms?
These... Oh, the hands are scumbags. They pull you back upstairs, and I don't want to be up there at all. I'm dead.
This game seems real tough, Nick.
Okay, you get, like, 1 life, too, so if you die, you gotta go back and select a new area.
Okay, that makes sense. I have another lantern, so I'm just gonna fall all the way to the bottom. Are these... Oh, they are hands. Okay.
Maybe Ice Ritual isn't the best call. Maybe I'll go to Magic Forest. That sounds way nicer.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe.
I have to say, though, I am impressed. This is better than I thought it would be.
Glad to hear it.
When you first said it felt like part of like a fever dream or something like that, you're like, for some reason I woke up today wanting to play this game called the Whomp, where you play as like a Native American, you know, it's an NES action platformer. I was like, all right, that sounds like career suicide, but we'll give it a shot, I guess. Oh.
The Magic Forest is pretty cool, actually. I'm kind of enjoying this area right now.
I'm still hanging out in Ice Ritual. It's going totally fine.
Glad to hear it. I hope you can kill the boss and tell me what's in there.
If it's anything like Dark Souls, the bosses are the easiest part, right? So
That's true.
that enemy just totally disappeared.
Okay, there's definitely a level hierarchy here that I just completely ignored.
You have to get like Metal Blade and then beat everything else.
Yeah, I think so. Because this place seems way easier.
Alright. Well,
Also got a Zelda 2 feel to it a little bit, which is kind of cool.
have you played Zelda 2?
I've played it. It's not my favorite Zelda game by any means, but I have played it. Oh,
I have not played it, actually.
crap. Alright, there's some weird platforming shit going on in Magic Forest. Wow, that person's subscribed had a web link as their name. That was
Oh!
Katniss Everdeen 69G on the F. Just subscribe. Thank you very much for the subscription.
Nick, I'm fighting a scorpion that seems to be based on the depiction of Oda Nobunaga.
Okay.
Every time I hit him, I get hurt.
That seems like the wrong way to do it then. Try
Yeah.
not hitting him.
Actually, instead, I'm just gonna, you know, get separated into a million pieces. I'm going back to Ice Ritual, though.
Okay. I'm going back to Magic Forest.
I think I can do it.
You could actually alliance strat a lot of this. Like, I'm not fighting stuff mostly.
No, that's the baby's way out.
Not fighting stuff is the baby's way out now.
Yeah.
I
without
really
having
misunderstood.
Without having 2 lanterns, this actually seems impossible.
Shit.
I had 2 lanterns before. My life was a dream. Word Up magazine and all that.
Dream. You should definitely try and use the downward strike if you're not, because that's made all the difference to my gameplay right now.
All right. Why Magic Forest instead of Sacred Woods?
I arbitrarily picked it, I guess. Oh, I just got a magic lantern for no reason.
I'm going to Sacred Woods instead. Because
right.
Magic Forest has rounded trees. These ones have, like, you know, coniferous ones.
That's bad?
I don't know, man. You tell me. Freaking Blanco from Street Fighter's chasing me around and flapping his arms, though.
That sounds bad, too.
You know what I'm going to say about this game?
What's that?
I don't like the music very much.
Yeah, alright. I can kind of agree. It's pretty average.
You know, this bear's not doing anything. He's got his hands up in the air.
That's what bears do.
Yeah, but then he's, like, just standing there, and I'm just beating the shit out of him.
Oh, poor thing. He's probably not even an angry bear.
It's trademark.
You're gonna kill him and take his tunny.
I'm starting to think that this game might actually just be impossible.
No, I beat it when I was a little kid. I was like 8.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, I don't even know yet how I was able to do that, because my nuts hadn't dropped for years.
Oh my god. Oh my... Jesus Christ. What Nick, this game is impossible.
Why aren't you going to a different level, that's all?
Well, I went to Sacred Woods.
Try another different one. There's like 8 of them or something, or 6 or something. I didn't count.
Yeah, okay. I'll try the Magical Forest. Oh, good. I got hit by like a flying elephant already.
The problem with Magical Forest, and it's a simple one, it's just the areas where you gotta use the spring leaves, because they don't really work very well, and a lot of times you'll drop off of them and fall into a pit.
Okay. That sounds terrible.
So just watch out for that part.
I'm starting to see
it doesn't kill you, though.
I'm starting to see why Nintendo Power only gave this a 3.1 out of 5.
3.1 is not that bad, man.
It was back in the 90s.
If I made a game and they gave it a 3.1, I'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, especially since it would mean that, like, you know, the magazine came back from the grave.
That's sad that they're gone. I got to the boss, by the way.
No, that's very good.
Let's see if I can beat him.
Is it sad that Nintendo Power is gone?
Well, it's mostly nostalgia goggles speaking, but
I thought I never could figure out if Nintendo Power was like officially sanctioned by Nintendo.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, right? I thought it was.
Yes.
But then, like, apparently just nobody cared about that being a possible conflict of interest.
Correct.
Okay, well.
We actually actively embraced it because Nintendo, for some reason, we just do that.
I'm noticing that. I am.
Alright, so the boss of Magic Forest is kind of bullshit. It refills all its health at the end, so...
Oh, nice.
Probably gonna go to water test now.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm nearly dead. What the freaking Machamp is kicking the shit out of me. What the?
Uncrustable sponsorship just subscribed. Thank you very much, Uncrustable sponsorship. I appreciate the thought. And welcome to the Rock Quarry.
This game needs more HP.
It's got Octo Rocks though. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, I noticed. It freaking sounds like someone sending a telegraph with like some important news when you're low on health. It's just in. Hot water, burn baby.
That is true. Hot water does burn baby.
Yeah.
I remember this level. It hasn't... Oh my god, I haven't played this game in so many years.
I think that's probably true for like almost everybody on Earth.
Yeah. Unless your streams taps into like the Whomp market and there's just like a bunch of people who really love this game.
Nick, do you have to jump on these like dandelions?
Yes, yeah, those are helpful. You use those to traverse the area.
Oh
god, there's amoebas! They split, like amoebas actually do.
Yeah, confirmed. I am science, and I confirm this message. Okay, I got it. What do you mean? Dewey beats Truman. I'm still dealing with the telegram stuff.
What is that? There's some kind of like mannequin abomination that I have to kill now.
Have you gotten like any of these upgrade parts, like these Titanite shards?
I got the helmet, if that's what you mean. I don't know what it does.
I have like a weird Titanite shard. Alright, I'm fighting the boss of Magical Forest.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. You replenished
Don't let it crush
at the
you.
end, huh?
It turns into a butterfly. I mean, obviously, because it's like a pupae thing.
What is he, like a big old metapod or something?
Yeah, it used Harden.
Hey. Hey! Oh! Alright, we'll try this again. I think I can actually do this. Magic Forest.
I'll give it to them. They have some reasonably creative level design at times. I mean, the area we started at was pretty bad, but some of these levels are okay.
Dude, you do not go to Sacred Forest. You will regret that decision.
Well, I'm gonna eventually, right?
Well, I don't know. Are you gonna play this in your off time? Because right now I'm starting to think it's gonna be like an Addams Family situation where...
I'm gonna probably need to beat this game, yeah.
Oh, man. Alright, well, you're entitled
Found
to do whatever you
Keroppi.
want to. Have you beaten Addams Family SNES yet?
Not yet, but I also haven't streamed since then.
Ah.
I also got another heart container for some reason, so you might be interested to know that you can have more than 4.
Yeah, I actually have 5.
Oh.
I still died, though, because I suck. Game's pretty tricky. Yeah.
But I can't really fault it as much because the controls are so smooth.
It does control smoothly. You can't see it, chat, but it's nice. Are these snails just unkillable?
No, you gotta hit them not in their shell, though.
Ugh.
I'm pretty sure you can kill them. I thought I killed them anyway. There's an angry-ass frog. I don't know how to fight this thing. It's crazy hard.
No, it's Crazy Frog.
I lost a water test also. How about Secret Cliff?
I think Magical Forest is doable, man.
Okay.
You totally have to not get turned into 2 Hadokens, though. But I'll check out Fire Test. We gotta find our... Yeah, we gotta find our seam at some point, though.
I think it's Magical Forest.
Downward Strike, you big bald donger.
Have you ever played this game?
No.
Do you know about Downward Strike?
I do not.
Saying that?
Should I be playing it like Shovel Knight?
No, I'm just asking the person who's giving the advice, like if they have background in this game.
Well, it sounds like if they know the Downward Strike is so pivotal, I would hope that they're not just going and lying on the internet.
Secret Cliff's balls. I'm never going back there again.
Fire Test is okay so far. Why do you have a Downward Strike but no Upward Strike?
You do have an Upward Strike. It's just up while you jump.
Oh, I see.
You don't attack.
He's right.
Yeah, dude's pretty well equipped. I mean, he can handle a lot of shit coming at him at once.
So, this is very Mega Man-y.
Right, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Oh no, it's a good thing. Sort of. It's not objectively a bad thing. You're right.
We could do Mendel Palace next time.
Mendel, is that another game?
Yeah.
Is it about like heredity?
It's about tiles mostly and sliding them around.
That sounds not up my alley.
I know. The thing about it is, like, there's these 6 or 8 palaces or whatever, and each one of them has a doll of a certain kind, and you have to shuffle these cards around to knock them all into the walls and kill them. And I know that sounds really terrible, but, like, when you play the game, it's kind of addictive very quickly. Because they all have their own, like, AI routines and patterns that you have to learn, and then there's, like, special modes that happen sometimes. It's like playing pachinko or something. Everything happens very quickly and dynamically.
Yeah, you know I'm a big pachinko fan.
I don't know.
Down at the parlor every Saturday, winning those chocolate bars that I
Dude,
trade.
I would play the
alley.
shit out of pachinko. I love that game. I love the idea of it anyway.
The idea of,
little balls flying around.
I was just thinking the idea of it, like, getting around gambling.
No, just the little balls mostly.
That's what you do to avoid jet lag.
Let your little balls fly around?
Yeah, you put your feet in a little fist.
Oh.
I still think that's bullshit. And Josh isn't here to disagree with me for once. God damn, these levels are hard, man!
Just get good. Haven't you learned anything from playing Dark Souls 2, hardest game of the generation?
Did you do Secret Cliff?
Yeah, I think that one sucks.
Alright, Magical Forest it is then.
It's gonna be Magical Forest every day until we figure this out.
Thank God we're already like halfway through this.
I actually don't hate this, even though it's very hard.
Oh, I don't hate it either, so far. I could see myself growing to hate it.
I think this is actually more fair than Addams Family, if that makes sense.
Don't you watch your mouth when you say things like that.
Sure.
Addams Family's a classic.
I'm not saying it's bad. I just think that it's really kind of unfair at times. That's all.
Yeah, but you don't have to, use a continue every single time, or you don't have to like.
That's true.
Yeah, you can keep things going.
Go in the chimney a lot.
Yeah, you get 1-ups. There's no ups in this game. Literally 0.
So yeah, 0 ups.
There's a surprisingly high amount of football chat in the chat right now.
They're probably talking about haha Dix Clinton or whatever.
No, I did see some comments on that though. No, this is like real football.
Wait, isn't he real?
Soccer.
Oh, I was gonna say, how is football real if our eyes aren't real?
Yeah. Sometimes I feel weird about making fun of Jaden Smith because he's like 15, and I'm like, being 15 already like kind of sucks. And then you got like the whole internet making fun of you. But then people are like, yeah, but he's rich. Like, yeah, but I mean, it's still pretty weird. I'm gonna try to
make him not a person. I mean, he didn't ask to be born to Will Smith.
But then again, I do make fun of him all the time anyway. So,
if you could be asked to be born to Will Smith, would you?
Yeah. I love my parents, but statistically, that would probably give me an advantage.
It's a good strategic move, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just thinking about my long-term prospects. Oh my god, I'm getting hit by every single one of these fucking elephants and snails.
Yeah, I went there myself. I'm doing Dandelion Town right now, though. And I have nothing to get me through the boss fight. I'm on a half a heart.
This game is fucking hard, man.
I know. You gotta farm, I guess, which is not your thing.
I just don't get. I don't get it.
Play some Disgaea, man.
They're not gonna
love
play
farming
Disgaea.
after that. I know.
I'll play XCOM. That's as far as I go down the Disgaea ladder.
All right, fire test it is.
Yep. It doesn't seem impossible. I'll give it that. Music doesn't help.
Fire test music is not terrible.
It's like Jaws. Yes. You want me to kill a huge bug? All right. I will go kill this huge bug. I'll be right back. Carry the stream.
Tell us
Nick.
the story afterward.
I'll do
I
my
wanna know
best.
about it. Hey, Chad. How's it going? So yeah, I also had to fight a huge bug last night. I actually had a big old spider in the corner of my room at like 5 in the morning. And it was hauled up in the freaking corner. Like it knew that I was trying to get it. So it made its body all like crunched down, and it fit into a gap in a way that there was nothing I could do about it. So the only option at that point is obviously, you try to suck it out of the corner. And it even knew how to counter that move, if you can believe that. Like the freaking spider balled up in a way that like there were no open surface area points for me to get like air under it to like loosen it from the wall. So I just kept sitting there, and it was 5 in the morning or 4:30 or whatever the hell it was, and the freaking spider was just stuck. It's no fun running a vacuum at that early in the morning. It's real loud. Nobody likes that.
I'm the strongest man in the world.
Did you crush something?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
That's pretty good. The description was it's the biggest fly ant of all time, and then I went out there, and you know what? It really was the biggest fly ant of all time. I have no idea what it was.
It's like one of the queen ants, right? The ones that try to migrate to make new nests.
Are you telling me I just killed like a seriously super fucking pregnant ant?
I think they look for a place and then they dump their eggs everywhere.
Well, don't dump your eggs at my house. That's all I'll say about that. But,
Yeah, I know.
I'm a friend to the insects for the most part, chat, but you have to realize that my domestic health versus one insect that's gonna lay freaking ant eggs in my apartment. I'm gonna prioritize my domestic health.
That's reasonable, and I don't think I would have done anything differently.
It was the largest fly ant of all time, though. Whatever that is. Oh my god, the game's sending the telegraph again. We should have done a training camp for this game.
Yeah,
before.
well, we did the tutorial level.
Yeah, it's true. Didn't learn shit.
See, my thing with bugs is, if we could somehow just tell them, just get out, please.
Yeah,
And if they were cool about it, I'd be fine with it then. I'll let them leave.
Exactly. It's like some Ender's Game shit, man.
But they just don't have a way to hear us.
It's kind of sad when you put it that way. It's like they're just not
They wandered into some off zone that they're not supposed to be in. They don't know that the rules say they can't be here.
Yeah.
They don't even play by the rules. They play by their own bug rules.
Yeah. It's unfortunate for them. I mean, I don't know, but then, like, for a while I was like, oh, I'm really sensitive, I don't like killing spiders. But then I kind of realized that I'm like totally a hypocrite, because I'll go out to a restaurant and be like, I'll have the hamburger, please. Or then, like, when I go home, I'm like, oh, don't kill the poor little ant that got in here. Wait, do you still have that like leftover beef teriyaki in the fridge? I'd like to eat it. So if I'm gonna be like a monster to animals, I'm just gonna like commit. You know?
Yeah.
I have 2 helmets now. What does that mean for me?
Oh, ooh, the ladies are gonna like that. I don't know.
Oh no, I got crushed. The thing hit me on the head, so
How does it feel getting crushed?
it felt pretty bad, and also my 2 helmets didn't do shit.
They never do.
Anyway.
Fire Boss is kind of crazy.
You made it to Fire Boss, I'm impressed.
He's bouncing around
Oh
like a
God.
madman. I'm dead.
Every time.
So neither of us have killed a single boss in this game so far.
I killed the first boss.
What was the first
The
boss?
tutorial boss.
Oh, that doesn't count.
So Nick, if you hold up on the D-pad, your guy, is his name Whomp'em, or is that his verb? Like, that's what he does. But anyway,
I don't know how to answer that.
he holds the